Yeah. What's good? You guys are tuned into another episode, another edition, another rendition of the Link Up featuring Symone Stanley, Lord Brunson, and yours truly, Tone DeShields II. You guys know what to do. You guys know what your job is. Smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channels. That's plural. Channels. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Symone Stanley, Symone with the sports, that is. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Lord Brunson. Y'all know who he is, man. He the bully on the block. You know what I mean? Make sure you guys are subscribed to Chalk It Up Sports. And also, most importantly, make sure you guys are subscribed to the Link Up YouTube channel, the official Link Up YouTube channel.
Right, we had 3,000 subs. How long we had 3,000 subs?
Let's go.
We've been at 3,000 for a couple weeks now. So yeah, we're growing slowly but surely.
Let's keep it moving, man. Let's get the 4,000. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Why not?
Organic growth.
How did we miss a stream last week?
Hey, listen, y'all tell me, man. Y'all the high rollers. Y'all tell me.
I don't know what happened. I was in the zone. I was grooving.
I was like something. Oh, how I remember was I was doing a video and I was like something on the link up there. I was like, wait, hold on.
Right. What was I doing? I think I made quite a few videos last week.
It was a busy week for y'all. You know what I mean? You know, I try not to step on y'all toes. I want to give y'all a week off. You feel me?
It was a lot.
I don't know what I was doing. I was like, I don't know. I was streaming like at 9 o'clock a couple times last week, having a little sip, just talking to the camera. You know.
It was a lot going on last week. The week we skipped.
The bully after dark.
I definitely did some after dark. I might do some after dark this week.
But no, we got some stuff to talk about though. I mean, it's what's the last thing we discussed being together? I mean, you know, a lot has happened. Some players have been released.
What did we talk about?
So we ain't even touch on post June. We ain't talk about nothing last week.
They want to know what I'm eating today. So I got broccoli, a sweet potato, and barbecue salmon.
Okay. Real high protein, good carbs.
Y'all be getting that protein in.
Good carbs. Okay.
You know, she be on TV. She got to make sure everything nice and tight. You know what I mean?
Athlete. Symone will train and she eat like an athlete. It's an athlete. She be running. You been moving around. You was at the little team running joint. I seen you sitting next to. Let me say her name right. She just had a little thing. You say it for me, Symone. Shakari. I seen you sitting next to Shakari. You know what I'm saying? She like one of my posts one time too.
Oh yeah, that was the Grand Slam. The Grand Slam track.
Right.
That was big.
I seen you in a conference room with the business. When you got the business suit on, it's real. You had the business suit on. You're talking
that's
like
what 50. I had to leave the stream. Oh, that's why. Because last stream, remember, I had to leave early. I forgot I had to go do that.
You was talking to all the young ladies in the room.
Yeah, last week I had a lot going on.
Yeah, ain't that wrong with that? Got to pay the bills. I'm proud of y'all though. You know, regardless though, I think with this Eagles team, there's always gonna be something to talk about, regardless when we link up. So I'm just glad y'all here. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channels. You guys know how we do it here. Let's get right into it. Let's not waste no time, man. Like the most recent news that came across the wire, the Green Bay Packers decided to part ways with their All-Pro, Pro Bowl cornerback, Jaire Alexander. And y'all know what that does to the media. Y'all know what that does to all the fan bases. We got to get him. We got to bring him in. We need him. We got to get him. Everybody overreacting. Everybody ready to throw the bag at him. And I just want to get y'all thought process on this before I even share how I feel about it. So, LB, you mentioned earlier that you think the Eagles do need to do a few more things in that secondary. We can start with you. What's your thoughts on the Jaire Alexander potential move to Philadelphia? Do you think the Eagles should target him, or is there any other DBs you got your eye on?
I think the Eagles should target him. I understand that the injury thing is a concern for sure. So I think the Eagles should target him for a lot of different reasons. Number one, it'd be the biggest FU to the Green Bay Karens who tried to, you know what I'm saying, disrespect the tush push. They just tried to like crap on us. They try to throw the rule book at us. I think it'll be just a good thing. It seems like a Howie Roseman thing, to get back at him in that way. Also, I think it's a good move because you need a cornerback. Like you lost Slay and you lost Isaiah Rodgers. And we out here trying to champion for the guy who was third place. Thinking he couldn't beat out a guy that was gone for a year. Now, this is not no Keely Ringo hate. I'm trying to repeat. I'm not with all this give him a chance. Let's see what we got in him. No, you need to go get somebody proven, bro. If he couldn't come out there and disrupt the playing time of Isaiah Rodgers, then like we kind of already like know what we got there. It ain't no, oh, he need more reps so we can see. It could be too late. It could be too late. Dudes is out here getting pickings. You know what I mean? They got a quarterback in New York now. Jaden Daniels and them done got Debo Samuel. I think you just need to go get a veteran cornerback because Q can't come in here. Dory Jackson is not what we need. Q can't come in here being the one that everybody looking to in the cornerback room. He is going into a second year. Jaire Alexander is a Pro Bowler. You know what I mean? He has techniques and ways of preparing for the games and for the weeks that I'm sure some of the younger guys don't know of, don't see. Maybe they learned a lot from Slay. But that veteran presence still need to be had. And the biggest misconception is people think that he going to get a bag. He looking for a deal. He's not in no position to be looking for no deal. He just got cut. Primarily, probably because of the injury history. But this could be a win-win for us. This could be a one-year prove-it rental. Come play with a contender for 1 year. Show everybody you still could play at a high level. Then go get your bag next year. We'll send you packing. But this ain't no guy that we got to pay 5 years, $65 million. This ain't one of them. This is a 1 year, $4 million situation. And then you go, yeah, I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like we are trying to go back to back. We trying to win now. You can never have too much competition. You can never have too many proven guys at a spot. And obviously the injury concern is the biggest thing, but Saquon Barkley had injury concern. Mekhi Becton had injury concern. Like you can't always just shy away from somebody, you know, just because of that. There is no downside to getting Jaire Alexander. Like Ringo could be that guy. And if he is, then he will be. Because Vic Fangio's going to give everybody a shot. So if he's that guy, he will be that guy. We will see it at camp. But I don't see any problem with bringing in somebody who's already proven next to Q. Because this is, so many people are like, we got to get the young guys a shot at some point. Yeah, at a point when you're not a Super Bowl contender. When you a Super Bowl contender, you can't just, it's not just about seeing what we got. Yeah, you can't just see what you got and play around. This schedule is not play around. Let's see. This schedule is an F around and 5 out type of schedule. Early on.
It's not, man. You got to go out there and get some guys that could compete. You know what I mean? And like, if you don't go get a veteran corner, a guy like Jaire Alexander, it gives the mindset of Keely Ringo that it's already his. You know what I mean? Like Adoree Jackson ain't stopping Keely Ringo from coming out here and getting his job. The guy that we just drafted ain't stopping Keely Ringo from coming out here and getting his job. I hope Keely Ringo is everything and more. But when you're trying to repeat, hey, man.
That's my only thing. My only thing is we can't. Tone got me dead with them notes.
Oh, no, I'm like, y'all cook. Go ahead, cook.
Know, you just got me weak over there in the office working.
I'm like y'all cook because, like, you know, y'all bringing up some very interesting points. So please.
No. You just got me dead. Look like Professor back there. But my only thing is, it's just we're trying to go back to back. The secondary was so good last season. The secondary was so freaking good last season. Like, we can't be naive and just act like, oh, we'll be fine, even though we lost 3 dudes in the secondary. Darn near cornerback one A and B, because it was Rodgers and Slay interchangeable. Because when Slay would get hurt, Rodgers got hella reps. Like, losing Slay and Rodgers, that total package, like, and CJ.
Right. That's a bigger one, too, is CJ Gardner-Johnson. Because when you talk about the Eagles' base defense, if you go get Jaire Alexander, it solidifies where Cooper going to go. Now, we know Cooper can move around, inside, outside, or safety. But if you go get a primary outside guy, then Cooper could just go right in safety with Reed Blankenship and base defense. You know, if I had to choose between Ramsey and Alexander, I would definitely go Ramsey. But you need one of them 2 guys, bro.
Yeah, that's my thing. One of them 2 guys. To act like if we get Jaire and it don't work out, if we get Ramsey and it don't work out, then oh well. But to act like we are too good to even attempt to bring somebody in there with what we lost. Like, we're good. We're going to be good, but you got to make smart decisions. We can't just sit here and act like this secondary is not vulnerable. We can't act like that. Early on with this freaking schedule, early on, bro.
Right. Because Vic Vic Fangio, he was talking about, they was naming all the guys in safety like Sidney Brown. Come on, man. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny, man. Sidney Brown. Then there's another dude, McCullum. What's his name?
Tristan
McCullum.
Come on, bro. That ain't it, bro. That ain't it. Because if that was it, they would have got more playing time. They would have made some plays. I'm about guys that's proven. I understand you ain't beating out CJ GJ. You ain't beating out Blankenship at this point. But come on, bro. You need to go put somebody in. If you just go get a safety, then I feel better. Because if Ringo start getting cooked, then maybe you might see Cooper moving the inside, outside, bouncing back, depending on how the game flowing. But you don't even have a safety. And
then my whole thing is, if Ringo is that guy, then he will be that guy.
Regardless
if you're saying don't bring in Jaire Alexander because it's Ringo's time, then that's giving off the vibe that Jaire will beat out Ringo. And if Jaire will beat out Ringo, then we need Jaire because we always need the better guy at any position. If it's Ringo's spot, then Ringo will beat out Jaire. There'll be no issue with him. It's his spot.
Also, say you don't bring in Jaire or you don't bring in another corner, right? Say you don't do nothing else cornerback wise right now. What happens if Q needs a breather? You gonna go out there with Ringo and who else?
They gonna say Ricks is ready.
You know what I'm saying? You gonna go out there with Ringo and who else? That just opened the doors for you to get cooked. Because the minute I see Quinyon Mitchell go off the field, I'm throwing to his side. If you bring in Jaire Alexander, you keep Ringo as a depth guy, you know what I mean, who could still get some snaps, you know what I mean, for breathers or for whatever reasons. You obviously Ringo snaps have to increase this year. This is point blank period. But you need another cornerback. I'm not out here looking for what Eli Ricks can do, bro.
So y'all said a lot, and I'm grateful for it because y'all made some good points. Y'all made some points I agree with. Y'all made some points that I disagree with. But let's just, before I give opinion, let's just talk facts, right? So Jaire Alexander, let's stay there. Y'all mentioned how, forget the injuries. He's proven, he's talented. We ain't got time to develop a player. We trying to win now. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Say it again.
So essentially, basically what y'all saying is we ain't got time to develop Ringo. We trying to win now. We ain't got time. We need to go get a guy like Jaire Alexander who's proven. That's the mission.
I'm saying we don't got time to wait and see what somebody got.
Yeah,
let's
wait right. Yeah,
got it.
Pause right there. Before
and if he's the guy, then Cream always rises to the top. If he is him, then he will beat him regardless of who the competition is.
So how long Ringo been on the roster?
No, hold on. So y'all, for one, Jaire Alexander, you go get him. He's not competing. That's his job.
Well, in Vic Fangio's world, everybody competes.
Right. But in Jaire Alexander, the way he move, his personality, his disposition, you go get him, he's starting. Like y'all said, he's proven. That's on his resume. 2-time Pro Bowl, 2-time All-Pro. But let's just talk about the facts when it comes to him, because I think Jaire Alexander, and I spoke about this at length yesterday, I think Jaire Alexander is a phenomenal talent. Phenomenal talent. One of the best corners in football. One of the lone remaining lockdown corners in football. He's one of the most disciplined corners in football. He doesn't get penalties. He plays the ball well. He's physical. He fears no man. He plays the game with the right confidence and the right swagger that you need at the position. That's just the facts. Production is there when he's healthy. You can't deny his skill set, and that's one thing I will never deny. Keely Ringo, Jaire Alexander, that's night and day. That's oil and water. They don't mix. They're not the same. Let's call that what it is right now. So we ain't going to argue about that. Now, let's take it a step further, because we talked about the positives with Jaire Alexander. Because all the positives you mentioned about him make sense. I get the concern in the secondary. You lost CJ GJ. You guys are uncomfortable developing Ringo right now, especially with the Eagles being in win now mode. I understand the logic there, right? But let's really make that determination if y'all really want to make that investment. Because I know one of y'all said 1 year prove it deal. Let's just think about it like that. So since 2021, Jaire Alexander has been available or had the opportunity to play 68 games. 2021 was when we first got the 17-game season. So 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, that's 68 games total. He's only been available. He's only been healthy to play 34 of those 68 games. He's missed 34 games. He's played in 34 games. That's literally been available 50% of the time. If you consolidate those numbers, he's missed 2 full seasons of football. 2. If you take it a step further and average out those 34 missed games over the past 4 seasons, he's averaging 8+ games missed per season. I know you guys mentioned the guys we got to deal with in this division: Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel, Malik Neighbors, George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb. Those are legitimate talents. But how can I look at a player who's averaging 8+ games missed a season over the past 2 seasons, missed 10 games in 2024 and 2023? How can I look at him and say, I expect him to be there when I play these guys? And then out of the past 4 seasons, 2021, he missed 13 games. 2021, he missed 13 games. 2022, he played in 16 games. That's when he got the money. 2023, missed 10 games. 2024, missed 10 games. How can I bet on that? How can I bet on that if we're trying to win now? The thing is, what separated the Eagles last year from the field is that we had guys available. We had depth. When we went into that Super Bowl, we had 21 of 22 total starters, and Nakobe Dean was the only one hurt. The only one. You guys also mentioned Saquon Barkley's injury history as well, and Mekhi Becton. Here's the difference with that, in my humble opinion. Saquon Barkley in 2023 played in 14 games. That's more than 50% of the games. He only missed 3. 2022, he played in 16 games. 2021, he played in 13 games. He missed a few games here and there, but that ain't Jaire Alexander numbers. Mekhi Becton, same with him. 2024, he played in 15 games. 2023, he played in 16 games. 2022, he did miss the season. But again, over the past 4 years, Jaire Alexander, as talented as he is, and I will never question that brother's talent. I will never question it. I just believe there could be better options out there if you do plan on adding to that position, if you do want to add a veteran at that position. And again, if it's a 1-year prove-it deal, right, whatever the money, because I don't really care about the money, because the reality is how we're going to always figure that part out. When it comes to the Eagles, I don't even think about money, frankly. How are we going to give whoever deal that he feels deserving or whatever deal that is? But if it's a 1-year prove-it deal, okay, I may entertain it if we get to a point in the offseason where Vic Fangio is saying, okay, where we need more here. And if Jaire is still available, okay, I'll pull the plug on that. I'll make the move, but I can't look at Alexander as somebody that's going to be reliable when I face these guys y'all talking about, like CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, the whole division. Like, we got some guys on the schedule. He's averaging 8+ games missed the season. He only played 7 games in back-to-back seasons, missing 10 games back-to-back seasons. How can I bet on that? If I'm a Super Bowl champion, I'm trying to win.
So you betting on Ringo?
I'm betting on somebody being available. What good is the talent if he's not there?
No, I'm asking because we've seen Ringo. Are you betting on him to stop them guys?
We haven't seen Ringo enough. Like, when people say that kind of blows my mind a little bit. Ringo, back-to-back seasons, has played below 200 snaps. We haven't seen Ringo. His rookie season. He can't even get on the field. He can't even get on his rookie season.
So my thing is, you are willing to bet. You're willing to bet on a guy who couldn't get any snaps for several years for whatever reason.
2 seasons, not several years. 2 seasons. He's young. 2
seasons, couldn't get any snaps for whatever reason over a guy who, I'm not betting on him because he might be hurt, but you're willing to bet on a guy who's healthy but can't see the field.
I'm willing to bet on somebody who I know has talent, has upside, who's healthy, who's going to be there. And again, health is something you can't predict. Let's just call that what it is. You can't predict it. Jaire Alexander could have a season where he's fully healthy. He absolutely could. He honestly could. But again, I look at it from this perspective. We know what's in front of us. And I can't look at Jaire Alexander as somebody that I trust down the stretch. I can't. So then let me take it a step. So let me take it a step further. Again, I look at the situation with the cornerback position. I know you guys mentioned how we had Slay, Rodgers, Q, Coop, Ringo. Like we were very deep at that position. That's not common. That's not common. What we had last year with Rodgers, remember, Rodgers was on ice for like a year. So Vic Fangio kind of inherited him. Did Isaiah Rodgers beat out Ringo ultimately? Yes. But I remember vividly, me and LB was on record saying, we thought Ringo won this job. But overall, he chose Isaiah Rodgers. That's okay. Ringo is also well noted that a lot of people believe he came out of college a year or two early. Even though he was getting first round talks in his draft class, he ultimately came out a couple years too early. Fair enough. I look at it from this perspective. His rookie year, he came in with a terrible coaching staff. We acknowledged openly that defensive coaching staff in 2023 was awful. Sean Desai, Matt Patricia, whoever was coaching the DBs that year, it was awful. Bad year for everybody. Okay, boom. Now we get to 2024, you get a whole new coaching staff. Everybody get a clean slate. Isaiah Rodgers comes in. Remember, Isaiah Rodgers, before he got to Philly, he was known as that guy that was up and coming. So I understand Ringo not beating him out. Ultimately, I understand Fangio going with somebody that he trusts more. But a guy who's 21, 22 years old, entering year 3, I mean, Nakobe Dean, he was entering year 3. He had his opportunity to shine.
And they brought in competition for Nakobe Dean. He beat out
Nakobe Dean also was legitimately hurt.
They brought in Devin White.
Mm-hmm. They brought in Devin White, and Devin White did him in the whole offseason. In the whole offseason, we thought what Devin White was in.
But my point is, Nakobe Dean, they brought in competition. He beat out his competition. If Keely Ringo is him, he will beat out his competition.
And they drafted Trot to join for Nakobe Dean.
And they drafted Trot.
Mm-hmm. A lot.
They drafted Matt. They drafted Matt McWilliams. They signed Adoree Jackson. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they brought in more corners as undrafted free agents. They brought in a lot of DBs this year. Now, say what you want about Adoree Jackson. He's a vet. Devin White was a vet.
Though, Tone, stop it.
My point is they brought in competition. Now, however you feel about that, they were saying Devin White was trash when we brought him in. They were saying that.
That's why he ain't play.
But my point is, you can't use Devin White. You can't use Devin White as an example of competition for Nakobe, but you can't say Adoree Jackson is a competition for Ringo.
We talking about Pro Bowlers. We talking about somebody on Jaire Alexander's caliber, like somebody who's performed as high as Jaire Alexander has, which Devin White has.
And again, Bowler, I made it clear. I'm not against bringing him in, but I need to find. Listen, you can't. They drafted this dude. You gotta. No, I'm saying Ringo. They drafted this dude. You got to find out something because look, at this point, y'all saying, repeating is the goal. No time to develop. So for every time we got a hole, we just gonna go to to free agency and dig out that pool. That's the mistake we made before. That's the mistake they made before. Constantly going into the free agent pool.
We talking about one spot. We're talking about one.
We're talking about hold on. I'm confused, y'all. That's a mistake we made before. When we've only been defending champions twice.
No, not defending champions. Remember, one of the reasons Howie Roseman has flipped the script in terms of how he built this roster. Remember, we was just going at the free agents. The money was getting thrown everywhere. Howie Roseman flipped the script and said, we got to start developing guys. We got to start drafting guys. He shifted his whole narrative on defense.
And this team is super developed. We're talking about one spot. This team is fully developed. A lot of dudes from the draft is getting burned. Two rookies last year started in the Super Bowl. We definitely been developing. It don't hit every time. And again, this is not to say Ringo can't win the spot. We're saying at a spot that's thin, bring in somebody who we know can get the job done. Because it's been training camp.
Y'all don't know he can get the job done. Y'all don't know that. That's the thing. He ain't been healthy.
But yes, he has gotten it done before. That's why he's Jaire Alexander. He's done millions of things that Ringo has never done. We know if healthy, you're going if healthy. If they say you're going to let 100% Jaire Alexander, or you could take 100% Keely Ringo for next season, who would you take?
Well, you know who I'm taking. I'm taking Jaire
Because
Alexander.
why?
But
Because he's done it before, which is why I'm saying we know he can do the job if healthy.
I made it clear. Jaire Alexander is a proven product. His talent is not the question.
But you just said, when I just said we know he can get it done, you just said we don't know if he can get it done.
Because of his health. We don't know if he's going to be there.
No, but listen, let me tell you this. Jaire Alexander's health is the only if. One thing we know.
Let
me finish.
What are we talking about?
The only thing we know for certain is that Keely Ringo could not get on the field. That's the only thing we know for a fact.
You want to know what else we know for
certain?
We
don't know if Jaire
we know Jaire Alexander missed 34 games over the past 4 seasons.
But we
missing. Hold on, y'all.
Ringo could not get on the field.
Hold on, y'all. We missing it.
We can't hear you. We lost you.
Hold on, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you now. Go ahead.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
Oh, yeah, we're missing a big point of emphasis in this when it comes to this injury thing. We got one of the better training staffs in the National Football League. You know what I mean? Jaire Alexander, he ain't tear nothing. It is little small stuff. Toe, a quad, a shoulder, a knee.
Hamstring.
You know what I mean?
A lot of hamstring.
AJ Brown had hamstring and knee before. Slay was banged up and played. The misconception that so technically we only missed one guy for the Super Bowl, but a lot of people were hurt though. A lot of people were hurt going into the Super Bowl. We were dropping like flies in the NFC Championship game on the offensive line. So I'm not the injury thing don't bother me, man, because we do things different in our organization. We give guys proper rest. It could be a lot that went into why he was unavailable. You know what I mean? A lot. I know Eagles are available. Saquon Barkley never had the type of touches or the type of season he had in terms of availability. You know what I mean? The injury thing do not bother me. It's not like the dude is recovering from an ACL or recovering from major pectoral surgery. He just been banged up and nicked up. You know what I mean? That's the name of the game.
Those be the ones, LB. Those be the ones, though. But when you want to prove it deal, and you come into the defending champs, you don't got time to play around. Now you're playing where you feel like you should be playing, and the eyes are on you. I guarantee you he would be ready to go, man. Ready to go unless it's something extremely, extremely serious. Our training staff is top notch. I'm not worried about the injuries. Like if I can get 12 games, 13 games out of Jaire Alexander, I feel cool about that. It's very low risk, high reward. Because we're not signing him for 14 years. We're not signing him for 4 years. 14 years.
You know what I mean? We're not signing him for 4 years. It's very low risk, high reward. And then at the same time, where's the competition for Keely Ringo? There's no competition here. Or Dory Jackson, we keep saying his name. He might not make the roster. He ain't that. We need real live competition. Somebody that we know for sure. We know Keely going to make the roster. And we would know for sure that Jaire Alexander is going to make the roster if he comes over here. We would know that Jalen Ramsey is going to make the roster. We need constant competition around Keely Ringo. He wasn't a first-round pick. You know what I mean? And we've seen enough to know that he ain't ready. He's been on the team. This is 3rd year. He's been in the building long enough to know, bro.
We view it a little differently. Again, I'll put a button on my point with this. 34 games played, 34 games missed over the past 4 seasons, averaging 8+ games missed a season. Like I said,
he played 7 games the last 2 seasons.
Last 2 seasons, he played 7 games. He's averaging 8+ games missed per season over the past 4 seasons. He missed 34, played 34.
I want to be clear about this.
He basically missed 2 seasons of football if you consolidate the numbers. So again, I'll put a button on my point with this. If the Eagles ultimately decide to bring him in on like a 1-year approval deal, like I'm on record saying this, I'll entertain it.
Was he ready for the playoffs? Did he play against us in the playoffs?
No.
He didn't play in the playoffs?
No.
Because he knew that was a wrap.
No.
Like LB was saying, when you playing for something, you gonna play.
No, if he didn't play now, missing the playoff game is different. I didn't know he missed the playoff game. I ain't gonna hold you. Because you got to play in the playoffs. You're one of their best defenders. And you know you're going up against AJ Smithy, but he probably couldn't go. Maybe he just couldn't go. AJ missed the playoff game before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Our stars have missed playoff games.
Yeah, AJ missed a playoff game before.
All I'm gonna say is
one play. AJ been with the Eagles for 3 seasons. He missed one playoff game in 3 years.
And Buddy ain't make no playoff game because he couldn't get on the field.
AJ came with the injury-prone tag, though. He legit only missed like 1 game. Saquon came with the injury-prone tag.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Landon Dickerson was drafted with the injury-prone tag.
Mm-hmm.
Nakobe Dean was drafted injured. You know what I mean? Our training staff, we can't sleep on these guys, bro. We cannot sleep on these guys.
See, that's the thing. I'm not sleeping on them. I'm looking at a guy who's consistent. We talking 3 of the last 4 years. He hasn't scratched 8 games.
So you just think it's a bad product.
But you know what I think? His injuries, what he's dealing with, that don't get better with age. Now, granted, he's 28. Young player still, relatively. He's supposedly in his prime. But things he's dealt with, groin, hamstring, those kind of things. I think he had a shoulder something like that not too long ago. But whatever it is, when I think about stuff like that at the corner position, you got to sink them hips. You got to them fast twitch muscles. If y'all think Ringo not the guy, all right, cool, whatever it may be. But him,
we don't know.
I think y'all seem confident. Y'all sound confident to me.
Yeah, because based off of June 2025, he has not been the guy.
So either y'all don't know, or we do know. Which one?
No, that's why I want to bring in somebody to compete. We'll see. The thing with Ringo is we'll see. But in the event that he is not the guy, we can't gamble with him in a Dory Jackson rotation. If he's not that guy, then what do? We out of luck.
Fair enough.
We don't know he's the guy. That's why you bring in insurance and competition.
I don't feel comfortable with starting Keely Ringo on the outside. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't feel comfortable with it. I ain't trying to do it.
That's okay. That's a good thing.
I don't want to experiment. I don't want to experiment with it during the repeat. I don't care to do it. If week 1, Keely Ringo is the starting cornerback against the Dallas Cowboys, against George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable there.
That's cool. And
he could ball out and change my perception and make me comfortable, but I don't feel comfortable if that's the case.
Fair enough. What made you comfortable, real quick though? What made you comfortable with Nakobe Dean being the starter in year 2 and year 3? What made you comfortable?
Well, Nakobe Dean was the Dick Buckus Award winner coming out of college.
Right.
Nakobe Dean has flashed big time in playoff games. I mean, in preseason games before getting his chance.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Nakobe Dean, he came out there and he did his job. Nakobe Dean has had meaningful snaps, though. Nakobe Dean has made plays at his natural position. Keely Ringo has made plays as a gunner on special teams. That's where Keely Ringo's tape is exciting as a gunner on special teams, and that's not a knock.
You said Nakobe had flashes in preseason that made you a little bit more comfortable with him, right?
No, but he's had regular season flashes too, before him and Zach Bond paired up. Nakobe Dean has put good film out there at his position.
A lot of people said in year 2, I think I could have swore the narrative was he couldn't cover. Mm-hmm. He couldn't get into the run fits because he kept getting hurt. That was the narrative in year 2. It wasn't flashes that people was talking about. That wasn't the narrative. The narrative was he can't cover,
right,
and he can't stay healthy. That was the narrative in year 2.
But
year 1, he didn't get no snap.
But the narrative don't matter when you can pull up the film and show that he's made plays at his position. Yeah, he wasn't the best, he wasn't the most polished, but he made plays. Nakobe Dean made plays before he was paired up with Zach Bond. He just could not stay on the field due to health. That's why it was a make or break year for Nakobe going into last year. Mm-hmm. He had to stay healthy. Everybody kept talking about health. He had to stay healthy.
Yeah, I think well, at least for me, speaking for myself with Nakobe, a lot of people wanted to say he was bad, he was great. My position was he ain't been healthy enough to play. We ain't seen it. So I can't say either or. I can't say either or. Right?
I said the same thing. I said the same things about Nakobe Dean. I was off of Nakobe Dean.
And that's my position specifically with Ringo. Now he's been healthy, but when it comes to Ringo, my position is year 1. They didn't want to play the young guys. They didn't play Nolan. They didn't play Ringo. They didn't play a lot of them guys for some reason. That's showing the side coaching staff was a mess. It was a wash for a lot of them guys. Everybody was on the downslope with that coaching staff. That coaching staff didn't know how to develop. That coaching staff didn't know how to put nobody in position. None of that. So I look at that 2023 season as a season where I can't even look at Ringo and say he had the best situation to get coached in. So that's that part. Then we get to 2024. Eagles draft Quinyon. They draft Coop, first and second round. High value talents, guys that were considered to be two of the best corners in their draft class. Right.
That's another thing, though, Tone. Like right there. If Ringo they drafted 2 corners.
They were drafting corners regardless. Slay was old. Bradbury was cooked. They had nobody. They was drafting corners regardless.
You had Ringo. You could have drafted 1 corner, played Keely Ringo, and drafted in another spot. They drafted 2 corners, and he had Isaiah Rodgers on the back burner.
And guess what? They were unsure what Rodgers would be being off for a year. Think about that. Bradbury was cooked. Slay's old. You don't know what you're getting at Rodgers because he been out of the game for a year or 2 years. My bad. However you want to call it. They drafted 2 corners.
Tone, if you draft 2 corners with your first 2 picks in the first round and the second round, Tone, I don't need to see why you ain't on the field, bruh. I don't think you trash, but you might just be a special teams ace. You might.
All I'm saying is, all I'm saying, the decision to draft 2 corners goes far beyond Keely Ringo, and I think I don't think that should be ignored. Personally, I don't think that should be ignored. But again, this goes beyond Keely Ringo for me. I'm strictly talking about Jaire Alexander. That's my main point with Jaire Alexander.
Right.
I'm not saying don't go get somebody. Hey, if it's Ramsey, cool. You find somebody that's valuable that you like, cool. Especially if you think Ringo ain't cutting it, cool. I ain't got no love for nobody for real. I'm about getting to the finish line. But for me, I can't bet on Jaire Alexander. Me personally. I can. Now, good thing is not my decision to make. I'm happy I ain't got to make that decision. But Jaire Alexander, if your plan is to go get a guy that you know gonna be there at least. Go get a guy that you even said yourself you'd rather have Ramsey. Now, granted,
I would rather have Ramsey.
Now, granted, Ramsey come with a contract. On top of that, you got to trade for him. So Jaire Alexander, the barrier of entry is way easier to get him. He's a free agent. You can sign for, you can offer him whatever.
Right.
I just don't. I've been doing my due diligence. I've been doing my due diligence from Jaire Alexander. I've been doing my due diligence.
We just.
And I'm telling y'all, this brother is not the kind of brother that's coming in and saying that, oh yeah, I got to compete with this guy. This boy is a 2-time Pro Bowl, 2-time All-Pro, 28 years old. He think he's still in his prime. He think all he got to do is stay healthy and he good. And that's probably, and that's the case really. His talent, he's like that. He's like that. I want to make that very clear. Jaire Alexander is like that. So if y'all think he coming in here to compete for a job, y'all got another thing coming.
I mean, there's no competition if you sign him. Keely Ringo got to compete to get meaningful snaps if you sign Jaire Alexander. This is not about Jaire Alexander having to compete. He don't have to compete. He just got to stay healthy. Jaire Alexander is good, bro. Keely Ringo has to compete. That's what this is about. This ain't about Jaire Alexander.
My point was
I just can't invest in I can't invest in him personally. I can't invest in him.
My point was saying if Keely Ringo is ready to start on this team, then he will show that regardless of who is in the room. That was my point. If Keely Ringo is him, he would be him regardless of who is in the room.
Yeah, and on top of that, I think somebody just put in the chat, what does a Jaire Alexander contract look like? Because again, this guy's coming off of making $21 million a year on average, 2-time Pro Bowl, 2-time All-Pro. Like we all agree, he's like that. I don't know. Again, I don't know if he want a 1-year deal. I don't.
Bro, Jaire Alexander is not getting a contract from nobody. That's what people don't understand. He's not getting a contract from nobody. He's like a 7-year deal.
He not getting no long-term deal. That's a fact. He probably at the most he could hope for a 3-year deal at the most. And then even on top of that, all he can hope for is getting maybe 1 year guaranteed in it.
Jaire Alexander is getting a 1-year deal from, I guarantee you that. He's getting a 1-year deal from no matter who picks him up. It's a 1-year deal because the injuries are a concern. He has to prove, he has to go out there and reposition himself as somebody that teams can count on to get 15 games out of.
I do agree with that.
Including the playoffs. He's not getting no 4-year deal or nothing like that.
Yeah, I think he's actually entering a very unique space in his career. We've seen it before. I think he's entering his mercenary era. I think he's entering a part of his career where he's going to be that guy like Stephon Gilmore. Now, granted, Stephon Gilmore, that was when he was in his 30s, but because of the injuries, that kind of speeds up the clock for Jaire Alexander. I think he's entering that era in his career where he's going to the highest bidder that gives him the most security. That's what I think.
Also, he's on the last year of his deal over there. So it's easy to cut bait with him because they knew they weren't bringing him back. He's on the last year of his deal. So you could cut that. That's like a void. You could cut that void year right out, and it's not that big of a cap hit for the Packers. So it's the perfect time to move on from somebody. You know how hard it is to get 2 contracts with the same team?
Oh, no, it's very difficult.
It's very difficult to get 2 contracts with the same team in the NFL. So it's just as much about business as it is about the injuries with Jaire Alexander. It's just as much about business as it is with the injuries. You know what I mean? They already extended him. They wasn't going to do it again.
Yeah, that was
at some point, they got to have some turnover at the position.
Yeah, that was his rookie extension. And 30, and the reason I keep saying this is because it got to a point where Green Bay said, dang, we damn near comfortable playing without you.
Yeah.
And for them to move on from a guy as talented as he is, knowing the injury history and knowing everything he does bring to the table when healthy, for them to move on from him, it is interesting. Now, granted,
but it's not though. We just saw the Giants move on from Saquon Barkley.
But he walked in free agency. He just walked.
We just saw what happened with DK Metcalf. Like, this happens all the time. Nobody's going to pay a guy. Nobody's going to re-extend a guy who don't play. Like, they're not going to do that. They're going to say, hey, go somewhere else and show other people what you could do. You got good tape out there. We're going to let you go.
How many games DK played last year?
I don't know. I don't think DK's situation was about injury, though.
DK played 15 games last year, 16, 17. DK's been healthy. DK's a healthy player for the most part.
DK's situation wasn't about injury. DK's situation was about sometimes good players just get let go. That's the point that I'm making. Jaire's is 50% business, 50% injury. We're not going to let you play on the last year of his contract probably was like $20 million when they could just cut him and only have to pay like.
Oh, for sure. And I think it's funny. They didn't just let him go. They let a first round pick go in Eric Stokes, a guy who talented, but
that's another corner, right?
Yeah, another corner. They let two of their top 3 corners walk in terms of, I guess, draft stock and talent. Both of those guys were former first round picks. They let them walk, mainly for injury concerns. Eric Stokes was just a free agent walk, and Jaire Alexander got cut. Again, you know, I don't want to be a
guy we look at if nobody ain't picking him up yet.
Eric Stokes, he got picked up by the Raiders. But ultimately, I don't want to be circular. I think we all made our position clear about how we see the situation. It all comes down to how Howie Roseman values Jaire Alexander, and is he willing to gamble with the risk versus reward? That's what it comes down to. And if he,
my bad, go ahead.
And basically, if he does decide to bring in Jaire Alexander, I'm not going. Just speaking for myself, I'm not going to protest and draw the picket line. No, like if he here. All right, I want the best for him. Now, his success is our success, right? His success is the team's success. So if he come into the building at whatever point, all right, cool bet. All right, time to ball now. But if it's my decision, that's not a move I make. But I'm glad it's not.
But you say another reason why it's low risk reward for me too is like it's almost a given that he's going to miss games. So Keeley would have to go in there and step in, and then we could really see what we got. Because this guy is going to miss games. Slay didn't miss no games, I don't think, to where Keeley had to play a full game. If Jaire Alexander is unable to play for like 2 weeks or something like that, it'll be frustrating for us. But those are the valuable moments that Keeley is going to get playing with the ones. So it's low risk reward, man. If you really want to see what you got in Keeley, you got to bring somebody in. And I think Jaire Alexander is perfect because he might miss games. It's a high chance. And Keeley will have to be thrown in pressure situations. And when it's going to fall on him.
Now, when you put in the guy, see, Vic Fangio spoke about this. When you got guys in front of you, you lose reps. That's the simple math. You lose reps. Right. Guys in front of you lose reps. Now, we saying in one breath, hey, go get Jaire. He probably guaranteed to miss 4 or 5 games, but hey, Ringo got to come in and fill those snaps, right?
Right.
But if he's not getting the reps, How can you trust him to fill those 4? All right, let me put it to you like this. Let me just put it to you like this. I'm looking at the schedule right now. At what point in this, because you said I think y'all both agree ultimately that Jaire Alexander could probably miss 3 to 5 games. Maybe, right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's fair.
With the schedule that y'all bring up and y'all talk about, what stretch of the season are you comfortable losing them at?
Bro, I'm worried about the first 6 weeks of the season. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm worried about Dallas. I'm worried about the Chiefs, the Rams, the Giants. Who else was in that first 6 weeks?
So the first 6 weeks you got Dallas, Chiefs, Rams, Bucks, Broncos, Giants. Then you got Vikings, Giants. Then you got the bye week. So those first 8 weeks, you're literally playing up against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 playoff teams.
That's what I'm saying. And if he's healthy and ready to go week 1, then you could get 6 to 8 games out of him right there. That first, I'm worried about the first 6. The first 6 is critical. I'm not worried about the Vikings. You know what I mean? I'm just not worried about the Vikings, bro. Who's their quarterback? JJ McCarthy. Mm-hmm. I'm not really worried about the Vikings. I'm not sleeping on them. I'm not sleeping on nobody. But the Bucks and Baker Mayfield and that wide receiver duo, the Cowboys, banner night, Patrick Mahomes, you know what I'm saying, out for blood. I'm worried about the first 6 weeks. Going banner night, the Dallas Cowboys and Patrick Mahomes. And then who's week 3? The Rams?
Rams.
Week 3 is the Rams.
Week 3 Rams, then Tampa Bay, week 4.
Yeah.
I do not feel comfortable throwing Keely Ringo into that, bro. Dallas with all the smoke in the world. The Buccaneers hate us. You know what I mean? The Rams can't stand us. Puka Nacua, Cooper.
Nobody like us, bro.
Then they got Devontae Adams. Rams got Devontae Adams.
Rams got Devontae Adams now with Puka Nacua. Yep. I need, if Jaire Alexander could give me the first 8 and then retire, okay, so be it. We'll figure it out later, bro. But we are not going to be kind to Howie Roseman or the defense if Keely Ringo was out that bitch getting cooked to start the season. And there's multiple ways Keely showed me that he could be cooked. He got stiff hips, and he's aggressive at the point of contact. Flag. A walking flag, no technique. I'm scared. I'm trying to repeat. I don't keep sugarcoating it, bro. Go get Gilmore. I'll take Dinosaur and Stephon Gilmore, bro, because he got technique, and he could coach up other guys on technique. You could learn from Gilmore. You know what I mean? If anything.
I'm scared.
Hell yeah, I'm scared.
I know you say you're not worried about the Minnesota Vikings, but if a guy, what is it? Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison,
yeah,
they know how to get open. And at the end of the day, if they open.
What week is Vikings?
Vikings
That's
is
like
week 7.
We got everybody on the roster.
Here's the wide receivers you got to deal with those first 8 weeks. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens in one game. Then you got Xavier Worthy and I think Rashee Rice gonna come back as well. If you want to throw Travis Kelce in there, cool. Then you got Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. Then you got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Then you got Courtland Sutton from the Broncos, who's very good in my opinion. Then you got Malik Neighbors, and I think that's all they had. What's the other receiver they got?
They got Slayton.
Is it window?
They got Hyatt, Slayton.
Then you got Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, who's a problem. So when you think about it from the perspective of who they got to face, yeah, you want to make sure you're secure out there. Absolutely, that's something that I'm not against whatsoever. I'm not oblivious to that fact at all. If Jaire Alexander is somebody they bring in, all right, pray for rain. Let's see if he stay healthy. I'm just looking at the schedule, and I don't think there's a stretch really where I feel comfortable losing him at any point.
But you want to start off strong, though.
You want to start off strong, sure. If there's any stretch where I could say, all right, Jaire Alexander, go sit on ice, it might be the Chargers rate out of a 17-game season. Other than that,
what week is that though?
That is
that's December, right?
That's week 13, 14, 15. That's November going into December.
You could be 4-8 by then. trying to play catch up. You could be 4. I'd rather be 7-1. Then he get hurt. Then we gotta adjust.
This team ain't going 4-8. You start talking crazy.
Hey man, I'm saying you could be, bro. You could be. We have no.
LB, I ain't never heard this level of fear from you before. What's up, man?
It's not a. It's not a level. It's not fair, bro.
What game was it where he was like, "I'm scared"? Was it?
It probably was in the playoffs.
Was it Rams?
Was it Rams?
It was
the closer we kept getting to the goal, I got scareder and scareder.
It was the morning of the Rams game.
I was nervous, bro. I was nervous, and if you want to be 100 about that, I think the snow would have.
It was the Rams game.
What you better say? Because I'm. What you better say?
The weather would have been good for both teams. I don't know how it would have ended out. The weather would have been good for both teams.
No, I'm glad you said that.
Because Jalen was throwing the ball at a high level in that game. AJ dropped the damn touchdown. You know what I mean? But Stafford would have got loose.
Here's the thing. I'm glad you said that though, because a lot of people said, "Oh, the snow saved the Eagles," as if the Rams the only one that. No, I got you, but I just want to add some context to this, right? Because when people say if the Rams would have had perfect weather and the Rams would have got loose, like you said, right? We played them in LA at nighttime, clear skies, baby, and what we do to them.
We talking about the playoffs, Tom.
But my point is though.
All right.
We are who we are, and they are who they are. We would have smoked. You said it yourself, right? That weather, we would have smoked them for real. We would have smoked them. We would have smoked them in bad weather if it wasn't for a safety by Jalen Hurts and drop pass. We was ready to smoke them. Then the weather closed the gap. If the weather closed the gap, what the nice weather gonna do? Widen the gap.
Yeah, the snow made it close for them.
That's my opinion. The weather didn't help us, it helped them.
Hey, the way Stafford was throwing in the snow, though, it wasn't snowing for him. It was snowing for everybody except Stafford and Saquon Barkley at one point.
He was throwing like that because the DBs, you playing in the snow. Listen, they
was slipping and sliding.
It was pitching. Come on, man. It was and that weather, because he really got loose in the second half.
None of that don't matter. My nervousness this year is because people are a little too casual on obvious holes. A little too casual on obvious holes. The cornerback position is an obvious hole, bro. You could fix cornerback. If you fix cornerback, safety ain't that bad. It's just an obvious hole, and people are like, "We good? We got Ringo." No, we not good. We got a Dory Jackson. When we start thinking he was cool. Nah, bro, a Dory Jackson is not good, bro. I'm sorry, man. I just think we're a little too casual on it.
And also another thing, I think when it comes to Jaire Alexander, talent aside, it's not a given he fits what Vic Fangio wants from that position. Jaire Alexander, he's a press corner. He plays a lot of single high press. Fangio want guys in zone, playing off, sprinkle a little man here and there. But he has a certain. That's why we drafted Quinyon, because Quinyon, he can play man, but he really specializes in that zone scheme, being able to play off.
Quinyon is. I thought he specialized in man.
Now he was more so known for his zone prowess, but regardless though, Jaire, he's a man corner, press corner, getting your chest corner.
Except when it comes to AJ Brown. AJ Brown was
cooking him. He tried. He was cooking him.
AJ Brown was cooking him. And it's the thing. Shout out Drew. I don't know if it's a super chat or not. Drew says we win in the trenches. Go get Trey Hendrickson. Now this ain't a shot to you, Drew. Everybody talking about everything else that matter. I think we said at edge.
Yeah, everybody keeps talking about edge. I feel like the biggest glaring, like, of course you can add anywhere, but I don't feel like it's a flashing light, on the defensive line.
People keep forgetting about Uche and Ojulari.
Yeah.
Then Jalen's hunting Nolan Smith, who just came.
I'm not really the highest on Uche, Ojulari. I'm with you.
On both of them?
No, I said I'm not really the highest on Uche. Ojulari, though, I'm with
I'm with you.
Ojulari's. I think Uche had like 10 sacks like a year or two ago.
Ooh, that was like 2021. That was like 2021.
And like New England, I don't think it was that long ago from what I remember. But,
that was like 3 or 4. That was like 3 years ago.
They talking about we can't afford Jaire. How are we gonna afford Trey Henderson on the same budget?
You see that when people start talking like that, I ignore people. Like, because
that's what I'm saying. Like, it'd be the same people that's like, how are we gonna pay Jaire? That'd be like, we need Trey. With what money? Because he gonna be more.
Trey want a max contract.
Exactly.
He want to get paid like Max Crosby and all them. He want to get paid like what's my man?
Like Myles Garrett.
Cleveland, Myles Garrett. He want to get paid like them, and rightfully, deservedly so. The production is there. He definitely deservedly so. But
he's not gonna play. Unless they figure out the bread, he's not gonna play, man.
He said
they drew the line. They drew the line in the sand, bro. They said we're gonna keep paying wide receivers over here.
They stupid. They so stupid.
And then y'all see today that Shamar Stewart is holding out a minicamp today.
Who the hell is that?
Who? The rookie?
Yeah. So
who drafted him?
Huh?
The Bengals drafted Shamar Stewart?
Yeah.
The Bengals don't want to pay nobody on defense. They just cut Jermaine Pratt too. They start linebacker.
Yeah. So basically now Trey and Shamar Stewart are both not gonna be practicing.
Hey, they telling Burrow you gotta drop 50.
Yo, what's going on over there?
You gotta drop 50. That's what they banging on. They banging on shootouts, man. Sad.
Nah. If they start a Super Bowl, they need to know it ain't about a shootout. It's about playing defense.
Yeah, they banging on shootouts, man.
But yeah, overall, I think we can close out the Jaire Alexander conversation. We all got our varying perspectives on it. You and Symone, y'all on one side of the fence with it. Me, I'm kind of looking at the fence, looking over it, but I'm like, I don't really like what I see.
You on your side, bro.
I'm on my side of the fence. I ain't say I'm on the fence. No, I ain't say that. I said
you want Ringo.
Slow down.
You want Ringo to get them reps.
I want Ringo to get the reps. I need to find out what that is. Simple as that. I said that. I'm on record saying that.
No, you talking about I'm peeking over there. I'm looking
over there. I'm on my side of the fence. I'm looking over there like I don't like what I see.
Okay, respect.
That's what it is. I don't like what I see. And again, I also made it clear with this. If they do bring in Jaire Alexander, hey, I ain't got no choice but to fall in line. I'm not gonna wish for his failure.
Duh.
I want him to be successful.
What about Terry McLaurin not going to camp?
But Symone, you got to say that though. Some people it don't register with.
Yeah, it don't register.
When you against bringing somebody in, they think, oh, stay on their side then. Well, if they bring him in, I gotta support him. What you want to do?
The only side is the Eagles. What they give us, we gotta roll with.
A lot of people wasn't happy with Jalen Hurts. But once he was named the starter, I had to fall in line. I wasn't happy with it at first. I'm like, get Carson with some weapons. I had to fall in line.
Mm-hmm.
Fall in line, and you'll be able to celebrate at the parade just as I had to fall in line. Now, the people that didn't fall in line, they still got to be mad. What are them IGGLES fans? The ones that didn't fall in line?
Yeah, or even you even got the ones that's like, they refuse to fall in line. They I ain't gonna lie, they mad. They mad Jalen Hurts did it and Carson Wentz couldn't do it. They mad about that. We know which ones those people is, though. We know who they are. You know what I mean? They White Hope couldn't do it. But Jalen Hurts, the good brother from Houston, Texas, you heard me? He was able to get it done. But, you got some Eagles fans. You got some Eagles fans out there that's, it don't matter what Jalen Hurts can do. Nah.
This be the cap right here.
He's still a bum.
So I already know that she don't feel like cooking, right?
Oh
man. No. I'm gonna tell you what just happened. So I'm like, damn, I'm all happy. She was in London with my sister. They saw the Beyonce show, right? So she got back Monday. I'm like, oh damn, miss my old lady.
Not me. That's crazy. Pause. Because y'all went to Jamaica and then I went to Jamaica like a few weeks after. Why am I going to London this weekend?
No, I didn't go. This was a girls thing.
Oh, okay. But
I wasn't over there. She just got back. She was over there this weekend. So I've been home just eating I've been grilling, sushi, drinking, the liquor cabinet a little light. I've been living my life, feeding myself like how a man supposed to. So I'm like, damn, I see the lamb in the refrigerator. I'm like, oh, lamb chop, she's back. Life is good again. I text her. She at work. Oh, damn, you gonna make them lamb chops today, huh? She gonna talk about something. Babe, I liked when you did it last. They wasn't even like they weren't nowhere near like how yours is.
That's how you gotta do it. Oh, you
yeah, I'm like,
so
but see, that's a mind game though. You want me to think I know how to cook to your level, so I can make the lamb chops.
That's actually funny, bro.
That's a mind trick, bro.
Drew talking about them. Here we go.
It's a Jedi mind trick.
I'm not even gonna say nothing. I'm not even gonna say anything because everybody act like I'm so toxic and I'm toxic. This, huh?
You ain't. Did you take Dylan on that movie date?
That's what they say in the comments. They act like I'm so toxic, so I can't even speak on these topics.
Y'all supposed to go on that movie date. You ain't taking Dylan to go see Mission Impossible?
It wasn't Mission Impossible. It was Sinners.
Oh, take him to go see Ballerina.
Yeah, go see Ballerina. Me and white people went to see Ballerina the other day.
Y'all coming up with new movies every time. What the heck is Ballerina?
Yeah, the Ballerina. Me and white people go see Mission Impossible. We went to go see the Ballerina. You know what I mean? You know,
I like that.
I'm a movie guy. I like going to the movie show.
I like watching stuff at home.
Ballerina was like that.
The Accountant 2 is on digital. It ain't.
I just watched that. I just watched that last night or the other night. I just watched that.
I watched it the other day too.
That joint was good.
See,
I like
y'all
that joint.
always got some movie. I can't keep up.
Cause you be in the streets when you retired, running around doing all the stuff you be doing. Then you gonna be like, damn, the remote work in here. You gonna start realizing stuff. Like, damn, I got Netflix, I got Apple TV. You gonna start realizing how beautiful your home is.
LB, she's still in her 20s, so you gotta let her rock.
Yeah, I get it. I get where you at.
Eventually, you realize that home ain't nothing like it. See, you gotta make your house, you gotta make your apartment, like you gotta make your space like that zen, that zen space.
I'm gotta pay for this space.
That's a fact.
You know,
that's a fact.
Something gotta fund the lifestyle you want to live.
I spend top dollar on televisions. I got a frame TV. I got an LG stand by me. The joint that can roll around with you while you cooking.
Thank you, Drew. Drew knows I'm not toxic. Thank you, Drew.
He said an LG stand by me.
Yeah, it's called a stand by me. It don't even be plugged up.
I gotta see that.
Roll it all around, bro.
Oh, you got one of them joints.
Yeah, that joint fire.
What's it called?
An LG stand by me.
Yeah.
That's one of them. That's like the new improved version of what they used to have in schools on movie day, where they roll the TV on the cart.
That joint fire, bro. And it's touchscreen.
That's tough.
So when the girls come over, that's where I put that in their little eating area. You know, hey, don't come in my living room, man. Sauce and shit on your hands. You know, go in there.
Wait, you got to join that do a pivot vertical and
something they bring in the classroom.
Yep, it do the pivot. You can have it vertical, all of that. If you you watching somebody do a recipe, roll it on into the kitchen joint.
That look like something they bring in the classroom. All right, substitute teacher today.
I ain't gonna lie, it's tough though.
I ain't taking on the deck yet. That's my next move. Take it on my deck.
No, that's tough.
Watch me a little serious.
No, that's tough. I ain't gonna hold you. That's
I'm almost 40, Symone. I know you're tired of hearing me saying that. I'm 38
I'm
now,
almost
man.
40.
I stay in the house, bro.
Yeah, I'll be 31 this year.
Y'all be act like I want to be outside. I want to be at home too.
Nah. You trying to go to a pool party? Last time I talked to you,
I haven't even been to a pool party.
It ain't Symone. It's not summer yet officially. You got months. Why I feel like we definitely like in the last week of summer for some reason.
Right.
It's June.
It do feel crazy though.
Feel like that, right?
Right. It feel like summer been underway.
No, but I do need to hit the pool at some point.
Yeah, man, go ahead to the pool, man.
See, she in the A, so you know, like it's lit out there. You know,
it's definitely lit out there.
I'm in Texas, slow moving Texas.
How do you know, LB? You ain't never been to Atlanta.
I ain't, but it got to be lit. The South. I still
can't believe that you ain't never been to Atlanta. That's weird.
I just ain't never had no reason to go there. What am I going down there for?
I feel like all black people
been there at least once
in Atlanta somehow. At some point.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
See, I got family down there now. You know, my in-laws and all that.
I ain't been down there. I'm a slide. I ain't been to Atlanta. I ain't been to Houston.
I ain't been to Houston yet.
But like Atlanta is like.
I'm gonna go. What I'm gonna do though? Nobody never had no recommendations.
You do anything.
Right.
Eat good food.
No, that's a fact. I'm definitely gonna do that everywhere I go.
Right.
Now the thing about Atlanta is though, I will say this, like, be mindful, they invest more in the experience than they do the food. So
the food ain't
that's
good.
Only on certain spots. That's only on Instagram spots.
I'm not saying every spot, but like be mindful of those spots though. Is what I'm saying. Be mindful of those spots. Atlanta got good food down there.
If it got over 10K on Instagram, don't go there.
So you're saying the aesthetic is always gonna look good.
It's more about the vibe.
Certain spots, not every spot. There are spots down there that are strictly for experience, and the food is okay, and it takes forever to get it. So just be mindful of those spots. That's all I'm saying.
But see, for me, when I go down south, I'm looking strictly for soul food.
Okay.
I want fried chicken. I want macaroni and cheese. I want some candy yams.
Chicken and waffles.
When I go down south, I gotta find a Thanksgiving plate.
Man,
I'm not out here looking. I'm out because I live in DC. I don't know if you've ever been out to eat in DC. It's all a bunch of Michelin 5-star restaurants.
No DC.
So that shit is
some good food spot for sure.
That is all like I be having Wagyu fried rice. That's boring. I want soul food.
Yeah. You want something to put the elbow on.
I want the.
You want your plate. You want your plate bent a little. You want your plate to kind of like
the pound cake with the pineapple on top. The pound cake. I want the sweet tea. You know what I mean? Not every day. Just one good time when I first get down there.
Pound cake be so good, bro.
I feel you on that.
Who even came up with pound cake?
Definitely some black people.
Pound cake get it well, bro.
It's perfect because it's literally the cake that sell it. You know, some other cakes it's like filling and frosting and icing and all this other stuff. It's literally the cake. It's literally straight to the point. Nothing but cake.
Like, and that joint don't be dry as a professional doing it.
Right, bro. And then when the bottom like crusty.
You want it spongy.
The bottom got that crust. Right.
Pound cake do definitely be crazy though.
Bro, my sister make the best freaking pound cake, bro. I know that's like everybody thinks somebody. No, she make the best pound cake, bro.
Which one?
Who, your older sister?
My oldest one.
Oh,
okay.
She make lemon pound cake. When I tell you the crust be so freaking crunchy, perfectly crunchy on the bottom, and the inside is so moist and dense. It's so freaking good, bro. But
I like lemon everything. I like lemon cookies, lemon cake, lemon muffins, lemon all that. I'm
a huge lemon fan too.
See, and that's the crazy thing. I'm not a lemon person, but that lemon pound cake.
Actually, do she be using some lemon zest? Sound like she put a little zest in it.
Yeah, then she be zesting on top.
Yep. She a professional.
She can cook so good. She a professional.
She a professional.
No, that's fine.
My girl mom pound cake is crazy too. I had some flew from Kentucky. When she went to see her mom for Mother's Day, her mom sent me a picture of the cake. I said, "Yes, ma'am."
Oh, y'all know what I should do?
What?
Because somebody was like, they want a slice of the cake. I should get her to make a cake that I can bring to the tailgate.
Yes, do that.
Because she gonna be in Philly.
Tell her I got the ingredients. tell I'll pay for the ingredients. I just need a little piece of the cake.
See, her man gonna be with her, so she gonna do it. Because anytime I ask a request and he is aware of it, she gonna do it. Because then it's like, oh, I'm a good big sister.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's
I already got my outfit for week 1. 80 days in advance.
Bruh, the week 1 about to go crazy, bro.
I'm already lit.
That's gonna be exciting, man. That's gonna be real exciting.
I'm gonna have the arms out. You know what I'm saying? 8 days in advance.
We got a few super chats in here. Let's get these out the way before they start to pile up. We appreciate y'all for locking in as always. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure y'all continue to stay subscribed to all the channels. Symone with the Sports, Laura Brunson, Chuck It Up Sports, and most importantly, the Linc Up podcast. Make sure you guys subscribe to us on YouTube. The content is there, you guys. So we appreciate y'all for rolling with us. Chops, my guy, he says Jaire's injury history is scary, but under our medical staff and training staff can be the time to prove his worth. Cornerback depth is young and improving right now. I hear y'all. And I received that. I mean, you got a lot of again, Mac McWilliams unproven, Eli Ricks unproven, Keely Ringo unproven. I totally understand the sentiment. I just don't know if Alexander is somebody I trust. But again, I think that's okay.
So watch somebody say, what y'all know about Sweetwater cornbread? What is that?
I heard of it before.
Why does that sound familiar? That sounds so familiar.
It's definitely some South. It's definitely a South thing.
And someone said hot water cornbread.
I heard of hot water cornbread too. I don't know how you make it.
I was never really a big cornbread girl.
Ooh, cornbread.
Well, the thing is, it's hard to get good cornbread.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to find good cornbread. So then it's just like, most of the time you're eating mid cornbread.
I don't like mine too. Some people cornbread be too crumbly and dry.
Yeah, it's like it just falls. You gotta catch it. You try to eat it.
No, my cornbread be crazy though. I made some cornbread on my grill, on my Traeger. It was good.
I gotta look that up.
You had in like the dish, and you and it cooked on the
so you could bake a cake on a Traeger.
Can you now?
You could bake a cake on a Traeger, bro. I swear to God, bro.
How?
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
That smokiness on the cake probably tastes so good.
But see, it don't. So people think it don't smoke. It could literally be an oven. I made pizza on there for my kids. You could do anything on a Traeger, bro.
And the Traeger is wood pellets, right?
It's wood pellets. It's temperature controlled.
Yeah.
So I could turn the Traeger to 450.
Yeah. I'm with you, AJ. Mine got to be cake. Like my cornbread got to be cake.
Yeah, mine got to be
sweet too.
And it's got to be moist. A lot of it be dry and dense.
Spongy.
You got to put some sugar in the cornbread.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I ain't talking about like that. What's that blue box? Jiffy? What's it called?
Jiffy?
I don't want
Jiffy?
that. Nah, I don't want that.
I had some fire Jiffy back in the day.
Now, like as a kid,
but like
fire Jiffy back in the day.
You gotta know what you're doing. You gotta know what you're doing, man.
I like the little corn. I like cornbread sometimes where they had a little corn kernels in it. I used to ain't like that at first.
I don't like that.
I mean, one or two, not a lot. You ain't got to jam pack it.
Nah.
That's what y'all do down south. That's where I got it from.
Now you got to remember, I'm from the South, but we're not a Southern family. Both of my parents are from DC. They just went to college in North Carolina. So like my parents, they grew up not in the South. So they don't, my mom be getting crab cakes and eating crab. They not making, she's not making no Southern meals. You know what I'm saying? I didn't grow up on Southern meals.
Speaking of crab cakes, I prefer my crab cakes. Like I like mine to have like a crust. So I don't like my crab cakes like too. Some people crab cakes be too soft. Like it'd be almost like I like my crab cakes to
stand on its own.
Yeah, I like my.
You like your joint. You like your joint like a salmon joint, like a salmon. How the salmon joints be having a crust on the bottom.
Yeah, got some crunch to it. Like I'm like I don't know what it is, but the older I've been getting, the more I've been preferring a crunch with my with certain foods. Like I love a good crunch. Like my pizza, I don't like my pizza doughy. I like my pizza with a nice.
You like it well done. You like it well done.
I don't know what that is. The older I get, the more I like a crunch.
You know, old people be liking burnt food.
Yeah, they be like fried hard.
Yo, now in Philly, you know, hey, let me get 4 wings fried hard. Salt, pepper, ketchup.
Be fried hard. Nobody want a slimy wing is crazy.
Nah, it's crazy.
Oh no!
Slimy wing is crazy.
That sounds crazy.
Did you boil this and just put sauce on it and give it to me? What is this?
Yo, you ever had people? Yo, people. I don't like smothered turkey wings, bro. They be too slimy, bro. I like my turkey wings with a
smothered joint is crazy. Like just bake it. Yeah, smothered is crazy.
Yeah, like there's some people that do that though. Turkey wings be soggy and all that.
I haven't had that.
What are we talking about here, man? I gotta eat.
Yeah, right.
See, if y'all eat on the stream, then you don't have to worry about that.
No, Symone, I'm in my car.
And I can't do two things at once, unfortunately. That's just the way my brain works, unfortunately.
Drew talking about, did you make the lamb chops though? It's 1 o'clock. that's today, Drew. I'm going to the gym. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prep them. And I'm sliding.
Prep them and hope they get cooked, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna prep them.
Ty says if the Eagles didn't believe in Ringo, they would have re-signed Rodgers. His deal wasn't major. Trust his coaching staff and Howie. Interesting point.
The Eagles was going cheap, bro. You got to understand the assignment, bro. They was trimming the fat.
That Isaiah Rodgers contract is cheap, bro.
It is. I feel like they ain't even offering.
That contract is cheap. And even what Slade got from whatchamacallit, it's not expensive. Really not. I mean, it's an interesting point. It's an interesting angle to look at it from. Eagle Swag Nation. He says, so why they cut him? We're talking about Green Bay. Well, I mean, you know, they cut him for financial reasons. And see his situation. See, cutting somebody is a little different because they would have owed him a lot of money. They kept him.
Bro, you know how many good players are post June 1 cuts, bro?
Yeah. Yeah, they cut him for financial reasons, and they play so many games without him. It was almost like you paying the guy to stay home. So why even have him? So I understood why they cut him. Alex, she says, I'm more worried about the second safety spot than CB2. Interesting. I think I think people got concerns about CB2 and safety in the second safety spot, period. I don't think people are wrong to have questions about it. I'm on record saying that if there's any concerns I have on this defense, it's definitely CB2, because no matter what I feel about Ringo personally, no matter whatever I want for him, he got to go out there and prove it. At the end of the day, forget what I want. He got to go out there and ball straight like that. Whoever they put in front of you, whoever you got to compete with, you got to go ball. So forget my opinion. It's about production. It's about showing up at the end of the day. Because losing Slay, people talk a lot of trash about Slay. Losing Slay is not going to be easy to overcome. It's not.
I feel like Slay should have retired the Eagle, man.
Yeah.
Fact, man.
The funny thing about it is, I think he knew the way Slay's season, he played very well, but the way he was in and out of the lineup, that would have made me nervous too. He was in and out the lineup almost every game.
But he wanted to be, though, because he was getting older.
No, like I'm talking about that. No, what I'm saying is like the times he was in and out of the lineup.
When he kept getting nicked up?
Yeah, he literally was getting nicked up. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about those moments. Because corners, they spend out of everybody on the field, your DBs be on the field more than everybody. But yeah.
He really grinded it out, man. They could have definitely gave him another 1-year deal. He really gutted it out.
He grinded it out, bro. Because the whole playoffs, he was good. I don't think he missed no snaps in the playoffs, right? No. Yo, yeah, he ain't missed no snaps in the playoffs. He ain't missed none. Because of injury, that is. Because of injury. Alex says Jaire had a PCL tear in his knee that ended his season last year. How much is he playing? Oh, is that what that was?
I didn't know he had a PCL tear.
Is that what that was? Let me double check that. Because I was looking at his injuries last year.
Yeah, we can't do nothing about that.
I was looking at him.
Y'all see that video? It's a TikTok. It's the girl. It's like a little black girl. She in the bathroom, and her mom is like, "I'm gonna close the door, and you can say whatever cuss word."
Yeah. She got all. You know she bad, so she got all them damn silver teeth in her mouth.
Yo, those be the kids, yo.
You know she bad.
That's my reaction. Like the way she just be spewing out all them cuss words. Like when something crazy happens, I just be like,
"Oh." So listen to this.
Oh Lord.
This is your king, by the way. So give me a second. Let me read this.
Bro, this is our king. He don't play for the Eagles.
It say here, in the 2024 NFL season, Jaire Alexander was limited to playing in 7 games due to a knee injury. He missed the rest of the season, including the wild card round, and underwent knee surgery on a torn PCL. While he went down in week 8. He tried to come back in week 10 and re-aggravated it. Ultimately went down with a torn PCL in his knee. On top of that,
okay, it was a partial tear. Yeah, he's taking a 1-year prove it.
Yeah, he's gonna be on the chip.
He's taking a 1-year prove it. I would still go get him if it's a guarantee he can play week 1 on a 1-year prove it.
He tore the PCL, and on top of that, in 2024, he's been dealing with throughout his career. He's been dealing with a groin injury. He's been dealing with groin injuries for the past few seasons. Yeah, man. Hey, we'll see though. We'll see. Drew, he said Trey or Jaire. Who would be more impactful? Well, I don't think it's about impactful. Trey Hendrickson, he won a bag, and it's the reason why Myles Garrett not in Philly. He wanted the bag. It's the reason why Max Crosby not in Philly. They want bags. The Eagles not spending that money, so I don't think that's a real comparison. But and I'm personally pretty comfortable with the D line right now.
Hey y'all, I gotta drop real quick.
You all good?
I gotta drop. How many more supers y'all got?
We got 3. No, we got 4.
Okay. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Link Up family.
All right, Brody. We'll talk soon.
We gonna get Jaire Alexander. What we do when he cook? Stay over there, Tone.
You hear him? All right, let's get stuff to close this thing out. We got 4 more supers, man. Shout out to the Link Up cast. Me and Symone, but to close this thing out in beautiful fashion. We got somebody in the super chat saying with the name what? He says veteran, Ringo or not, CB2 spot might be cooked. Also, a 1-year prove deal with the defending chance won't stop injuries. Hey man, look, ultimately we go see how this thing pan out, man. You know, y'all know where I stand with Jaire Alexander. I'm
right.
cool.
Dang, we done had the whole hour on Jaire.
It was a good conversation though. It was stimulating.
I just wasn't expecting it.
I didn't expect it either. I really only expected maybe 20, 30 minutes. But I had a feeling. I had a feeling y'all felt how y'all felt about it though, because I think I saw
you saw the
LB
tweet.
posted something about it. I saw some of y'all tweets. I was like, okay, I think I know what I'm walking into. But I was pretty like the funny thing is though, I like the moment the whole Jaire Alexander talk started, I knew how I felt instantly. And like, you know, the last thing I want to do is be moved off that. Like I knew how I felt and I wanted to be true to that. You know what I mean? Because like I tried to talk myself out of it, but I'm like, no, I feel how I feel about this. So anyway, Drew says we went in the churches, go get Trey Hendrickson.
If we could, I mean, shoot.
If we could, we would. That's a lot of money. We don't even got the money to pay him. Let's just put it that way. We don't even got that money. That's not even the opportunity. Prophet Tom says, when you come to RVA, I can definitely point you to a few spots.
What's RVA?
I don't know what that is. Let me see.
Prophet, what's RVA?
RVA. Richmond, Virginia. Green. Okay, that's the Richmond, Virginia, Greater Richmond area. Okay, that's what RVA stands for. It's short for Richmond, Virginia. Got it. Dana Scott with the $20 super. Thank you, Dana. Says here, what's up, Link Up crew? Just a friendly hello. Tone, thank you. It's been months, but I did receive the Hurts jersey. I've been MIA. I'm a cancer survivor and my health takes priority. Best content creators around. Go Birds. Shout out to Dana Scott.
Shout out to Dana
Scott. Wishing you all the recovery, sis. We appreciate you. We love you. We're grateful for your support as always. It's all good, Dana. You all good. Don't worry about that. I'm just glad you got the Hurts jersey in the mail. I'm just glad it wasn't lost. I appreciate you and we love you over here. Continue to stay well. Put your health first. You know how that go.
Amen.
Shout out to Dana Scott. We appreciate you, sis.
Dana. That's awesome.
All right, y'all. That's pretty much our show. Thank y'all so much for locking in on the content. You know, it's not every day that I get Symone to argue with me like that. So I just want y'all to know that's something that
I wasn't even arguing with the most. LB was.
But overall, though, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all, man. It's always fun. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Symone, anything you want to promote? Anything you got coming up?
Sure. Just stay tapped in on social media. Symone with the sports. Stay tapped in. Y'all already know.
Y'all already know. Make sure y'all get yourself some cornbread. Not the cornbread with the corn, and we ain't rolling.
I don't even know why he said that.
I don't know why he said that. You know what I mean?
Get y'all cornbread, get y'all pound cake.
Hey, listen, I was about to say something a little prejudice. You know what I mean? I was about to say something a little crazy because there's only certain people on this planet that like putting stuff in stuff. But you know what I mean? Other than that, though, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. It's been the Link Up. She's Symone Stanley. We speaking for Laura Brunson, and I'm your guy, Tone DeShields II. We out of here, y'all. See y'all next time.